Social Security. It's a big question that always comes up at Black Oak Asset Management. When should I start taking it? Should I take it early? Should I wait? Should I wait as long as possible? Well, there's a lot of factors that go into it. We're going to break down some of those today and explain how you get to that answer, and it's all unique for every person. Welcome into Perfect Game Retirement. Ben George with Ryan Ledden, certified financial planner, the owner of Black Oak Asset Management. And look, we got an important topic today, Ryan, Social Security. It is the topic that I think a lot of people are always curious about taking in retirement, because a lot of people rely on this income is a big part of their income in retirement, and you got to get it right.
Yeah, you do. And I know there's no perfect science on knowing when exactly to claim it, because again, like we talked about on the show before, I don't know what future tax rates are going to be. I don't have that crystal ball. But also when it comes to Social Security claiming strategies, we don't know when we're going to pass away. So it's an educated guess or answer, if you will, or decision, if you will, to when to claim it. Obviously, when you are a married couple, there's a lot of different things to consider, and especially if there's two very different incomes that have paid into Social Security, a lot to consider there as well. So, we don't know when we're going to die, but we have to factor in, our current health, maybe family longevity and things like that. Obviously, again, that's no perfect answer, but those are things to consider and what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. So a lot goes into that decision.
Yeah, we're going to tell you, who typically will try to claim early versus, the type of person that will wait for as long as possible to get that larger benefit. But Ryan, before we kind of break that down a little bit, let's just explain the different ages for Social Security, just to make sure people understand the benefit itself.
Yeah, so this is more or less just a claiming strategy. There's other little nuances when it comes to a death of a spouse and disability and all that. We're not going to really get into that specifically on this episode. That could be just an episode in itself. But when it comes to claiming based off of your own benefit that you've paid into, really 62, most people know this, but 62 is the earliest age that you can start and filing on your own claim, again, leaving out disability and all that. And then obviously you can go to 70 is the latest. That is the furthest that you can delay, at least as of the recording of this show in 2026. Could that change? Yeah, it's the government. Certainly that could change. They can move it to 71, 72. I don't know if that's even an option, but right now, full retirement age, or what they call FRA, full retirement age right now, for anyone born after 1960, it's going to be 67 is the full retirement age. And we'll get in maybe in this episode. It depends on how much we get into, but it does depend. If you're at 67 and you claim Social Security, you still can earn an income and not get your benefit reduced. But again, just starting with ages, 62 is the earliest and 70 is the latest.
All right, so let's answer the question of whether or not you should put it off or take it earlier. I want to start on the front end, Ryan, for anyone that wants to claim it at 62 typically. And there's a lot of different reasons why people will pursue that decision, rightly or wrongly. But why do people typically go that route and start early? And just kind of give me some of the pros and cons there.
Yeah, I mean, there's several reasons that people could, but kind of the main two that we see is one, you need the income. Maybe you have retired and you don't have a huge nest egg and you need that monthly income. Obviously, it's going to be the most reduced. It's going to be reduced by 30% of your FRA, your full retirement age. So it will be reduced by 30%, and that's going to be reduced forever. It doesn't move back up when you get to your full retirement age. When you claim it you kind of stay at that. Now, you do get cost of living adjustments if they offer them. Those are not guaranteed by the Social Security Administration. So you could get a cost of living raise each year, but it's going to be based off that smaller amount. So mainly one is just you need the income, so people claim it. And two, probably the other reason why is maybe you're just a single person, and maybe your health is not great, and you're just like, hey, this benefit's not going to really pass on to anybody. It's just mine, and I don't think I'm going to live past that kind of break-even age that you can do the math on when the break even age is on claiming it later. So if you're just yourself and you need the income and maybe your health is not great, it's probably maybe claiming it at 62 is a perfectly reasonable answer. Claiming it at 62 is never a quote unquote wrong answer. There's no or bad answer. It's sometimes it's when you want to claim it. Now, you can maybe have regret later, like, I shouldn't have claimed this at 62. I shouldn't have done that. So, and I said two reasons why people claim at 63. Maybe the third one is because they think Social Security is going away. Don't be fearful of that. Could there be modifications? Sure, there certainly could be. In my humble opinion, do I think Social Security will ever go away? No, I do not think that. I know there's a math problem with Social Security. There could be adjustments, but don't claim it out of fear. That's one you'll probably regret the most.
Well, you did mention regrets, and that's an important reminder too, Ryan. You can't, if you turn on at 62 and hey, at 64, you go, actually, I want to wait and try to build this benefit up. You can't go back and make that decision different, can you?
No, you have a 12-month grace period. So if you do claim it and you kind of have buyer's remorse, you can pause that and pay. You have to pay everything back. You have to pay it back in. Most people can't afford to do that, but if you do and say, "Oh, I can't do it," but once you're beyond a year, then there's no going back.
Okay. Again, why you want to have a strategy in place and know why you're making the decision you are, because you can't go back after a certain period of time. So important to remember that going into this. All right. So then for those that wait, Ryan, and try to get that bigger benefit, who's the person that typically does that, and kind of what are some of the pros, but also, what do you need to think about in terms of, hey, maybe you should wait as long as you think you should?
Yeah, a lot of people, because more and more people are working longer and longer. And if you're working longer and longer, it's usually because you want to or you have to. Most of the people we work with, they're doing it because they want to. They want to stay engaged. They want to keep their mind working. They enjoy what they do. Maybe they retire or go back or scale down and come back as an independent contractor, whatever that may be. So if people are still working, just because we're living so much longer, and also I do think people, sometimes it's harder to save money because everything is just so expensive. So making it a priority to save is sometimes difficult as well. So a variety of reasons why people are working longer. The ones we work with are mostly by choice if they want to. So once you get to that full retirement age, if that age is 67, and you still earn a paycheck and you claim Social Security, you get whatever your FRA, your full retirement age benefit is. There's no reduction whatsoever. On a previous episode on our YouTube channel, we talked about Social Security getting potentially taxed. But it gets. So that's a possibility of it getting taxed. But also, if you claim it early before your full retirement age and you earn a paycheck, you earn income over a certain dollar amount. And I think it's, gosh, don't quote me on this in 2026, but it's like 24,200, something like that. If you earn over that, then your benefit is going to be reduced, not permanently, but it'll be reduced until you get to your full retirement age. So again, it's a jigsaw puzzle trying to figure this out on when to claim it. Am I still working? Can I do this? I can earn up to a certain amount and not get reduced. So a lot of things to consider there. But again, when you get to 67 and you claim Social Security, there is zero reduction of benefit. It could be taxed. I'm not telling you it can't be taxed, but you won't get a reduced benefit. And again, you can kick the can down the road as long as possible to 67. Right now, this could change, but you do get an 8% increase each year for every year after your full retirement age. So the difference between 67 and 70 could be a 24% increase without even factoring in the cost of living adjustment.
Yeah, so it's pretty significant, right? This is why this question comes up all the time, why people want to make sure they're doing the right thing, because this is so important that there's a lot of different reasons for it. There's no right or wrong answer for what you choose, but you want to make sure you're doing what's best for you. Best way to do that is to sit down with an advisor. Ryan is a certified financial planner. Black Oak Asset Management can help you do that. And Ryan, for anyone that does reach out and Social Security is maybe one of their big focuses, what are some of the things you're going to work through to help them identify, whether they claim early or wait a little bit longer?
Yeah, the first thing we want people to do is that we don't want an estimation. We'll get into meetings and people are like, oh, I think it's like $2,600 a month. I'm like, okay, that's great. You kind of have a ballpark. I want to know the exact number. Like, go to ssa.gov, create your profile if you have not, and it gives you the exact data of what that estimation is going to be. Now, someone like in our age demographic, Ben, it's still a pretty good estimation, but the further you get closer to claiming that, it's going to be dialed in even more and more. So Social Security, like they update it usually after you file your taxes for the previous year, because they see what your income was, because it's all based on 35 of your highest paid working years of your life. So it does the math on that. And a lot of times these estimations are based off of, if you still have, 15 years to pay in to get to that 35, it's doing some estimations that you're going to continue on making that. But again, if you're dialed in and you're at age 60 and you're getting really close, you may already have 35 years paid in. So the estimation is going to be more exact. So we want, if it's husband, wife, we want to see both of them. And that way the financial planning software that we have can really make an informed decisions on your success rates based off of what those two are. And again, there's spousal benefits. There's a whole slew of other things that we could potentially talk about. But, if you delay until 70, that's the highest benefit you're going to get. And I've seen married couples that have a delayed benefit. I mean, they could be $5,000 to a little bit over $5,000 a month if you paid into the system at a pretty high clip. And so you may have over $10,000 of Social Security coming in on a monthly basis. I mean, that's insane. Good for you if that's you. But I've seen it, and so that's a significant thing to continue on really for the rest of your life. So don't just claim it just to claim it. There's a lot of thought that needs to go into this decision, because it could be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars difference.
Yeah, if you need help, start with speakwithryan.com. The link is in the show description as well for you to check out there, but that's the best way to get on Ryan's calendar and begin talking about this and what other planning questions you might have and learn more about the process moving forward. But hopefully this helps you. Whether or not you want to take it early or late, you want to make sure you have the right plan in place for you and you've discussed all the strategies around it. So hopefully this helps you out. If it does, please subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate that support. We'll talk to you again soon here on Perfect Game Retirement.